the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have
Have
a
a
holly
holly
jolly
jolly Christmas.
Christmas. And when you
All right, folks, that's enough of that. Let's do it! All right, folks, this is Hard Hat Conversations. I'm your host, Richard, stationed here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Today is December the 15th, 2025. 10 more days before Christmas, folks. So let's get all this Christmas stuff get out of the way. The weather up here is freezing cold, just like winter is supposed to be at this time. So let's get into the show, folks. It's been a while since I posted something. Been busy, doing a lot of other stuff. So I'm gonna try to stay at least doing something at least once a week to talk about what's going on in the world. Because I love talking. I know you guys and girls love to talk too. So I see all them things over there on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. So we all like to talk and show videos. So let's do it. Folks, I want y'all to bear with me for a minute. I just got to, I like to go to my notes. When you watch the show, I like to go to my notes, right? So bear with me for a couple of minutes. I just got to say something about my sports team. Let me look at my notes, folks. I scribbled a few things down here because I'm getting older. I can't retain as much as I used to, even stars fall, So, hey, give me a break. Is it time? I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns, not the Clowns yet, but the Browns, even though they're not too far apart. Is it time for our coach of the Cleveland Browns, Coach Kevin Stefanski, to go? Has he run his time here, and it's just time to go? We had a good run with him, and I think we made the playoffs one time. I can't even remember. We were so bad most of the year. So I think it's time for him to go. I think he lost the team. I think nobody's listening anymore. There's no fire on the team. We really don't have a big leader with a big mouth. When you playing football, you need somebody that's loud sometimes to get on your nerve. We don't even have not one player. Myles Garrett, he's a great player, but he's not that type of vocal player. He does his stuff on the field, and that's fine. That's fine. Everybody can't be up there running their mouth. But I think it's time for him to go because it seems like, he's not. I don't want to say he's not into the game, but he ain't into the game, folks. The last couple of seasons only won 6 games or something like that. I didn't write that down, but I think from my memory, it's about 6 games in the last 2 years. So that's not good, folks. I think it's just time. It's just stale. The fans are tired of him. I think the players are tired of him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but we're trying to win some football games here and get excited. We want to get back in the playoffs, and we're not getting there. So if somebody can't get us in the play, we can always say it's the player, but you got to motivate players. That's why you got a 54 roster. You got backup players. And you got special teams. You got 3 or 4 quarterbacks, a couple of running backs, linemen. If they don't do their job, then the next man step up, and I just don't see it, folks. I know some of it could be recruiting, but you got to put some fire in people's bellies. You make some good money just playing a child's game, football. So I think it's time for them to go, and I think it's time for some of these other players to go. They should have been gone about a year or two ago, too, I think. So I'm just going to name a couple, folks. This is Hard Hat Conversation opinion. I think Wyatt Teller need to go, should have been gone. Conklin should have been gone. The cornerback Harden, I know he's young, but I've been watching the games, and I'm seeing too many wiffle balls with him. He needs to go. But Tony, of course, he wanted to retire. They begged him to come back because they ain't had nobody else. Isn't that ridiculous? You got all those hungry linemen out there, and you can't fill him in. You got to keep somebody that don't want to play really no more. He wanted to retire. How much fire you think he got left in him? Huh? I said I wasn't going to yell, so I'm not going to yell. Another one, David Njoku. I've been wanting him gone. I'm sorry, folks. 1 year ain't enough for me. Been there 6 or 7 years. 1 year of shining. And you can blame the quarterback. You can blame everything else. But he whiffed, too, when he blocked and stuff. So Cedric Tillman, let's get that out of here. We had another guy around Cedric Tillman. So I can't even think of his name. But we got rid of I'm tired of these Cedric Tillman and these other guys. Let's get rid of these second tier guys. Let's get a couple of number ones, and then we'll get fill them in with Cedric Tillman and stuff like that. Who else? There's a few more on there, but we need to revamp and restart. I'm looking at the Colts, Denver, all these teams. They restarted. How come we can't restart, folks? How come we got to keep the same garbage? How come we can't switch every year? You have a draft. Excuse me, folks. You have a draft every year. People are willing and dealing. So don't tell me we got to keep the same thing. Oh, let it grow. No, we need success now. Every year should be some progress. Every year. Now, I'm not waiting on 5 years. I'm tired of that 5 years. No, let's do it now. Other teams are doing it. Oh, we got a great rookie class. That's fine. But this year is away. We don't have no damn quarterback. Come on, y'all. Come on, Cleveland. I'm with you. Let's get rid of him. We can't get rid of the owner. That's something we can't get rid of. We can't get rid of the GM. Or can we? It's time to let them go. Let's get some new blood in here. Come on. We undid this course 5-6 years. It ain't working. Let's go. All right, can I run about the Cavaliers real quick? Give me a little bit of rant about the Cavaliers real quick. We changed the coach, right? J.B. Bickerstaff. Wasn't enough offense, right, folks? He was too much defense, right, folks? That defense got us in the playoffs. I know he's a little pig-headed, didn't want to play some of the young kids. I know that can be a problem like that because I like letting the young fellas in there and stuff like that. I wish he would have did a little bit more like that. I think he would have went further. I think he learned this lesson in Detroit. I think he's doing it in Detroit. That offense is opening up more in Detroit than it did in Cleveland. I really do. I think he really learned. I miss JB. I just wish he would have did it here. But anyway, don't forget, folks, he turned Cleveland around, when he came. So he left us in good hands. Who's making the playoffs and all that. So let's keep him in mind. I just wish he would have been a little not pig-headed and tweak some of that stuff, try to get some offense. But anyway, I think it's a few players that need to go. We should have got rid of them a couple of years ago while they was really hot, It's going to be hard now. I think it's time to split up the duo, the trees, and I don't mean that other word, I'm talking about the trees, the two players. Let me look at my notes. I think Jared Allen need to go. We got to keep Mobley, of course, because he's more versatile. He does much more. So I think Jared Allen need to go. We need to package him if we can. I'm not all into that money deal and all that, but if we can package Jared Allen, Dean Wade, we don't need Dean Wade no more. We got the young kid. What's his name? They've been letting play this year. A little feisty. What is his name? Jumper getting better. Play defense. Naquan or whatever. Excuse me if I say your name wrong. Naquan. So let's give it to Jared Allen, Dean Wade. Give him a first. If we still got our first round and second round pick, I don't know. Give him Jared Allen, Dean Wade, first round, second round, and let us get Giannis, so we can try to win this title within the next year or two, with our team. I think he'll help Donovan real good. That tag team right there. And with the rest of the players, I think we can make a good run. So let's do that, folks. All right, that's enough on the Cleveland sports. It's over with, and like I said, it's always next year, right, folks? All right, folks. I want to just do a shout out to this person that died. Him and his wife, uh, Rob Reiner, and his wife. I remember him as a little kid. My mother used to watch that All in the Family show. He was the one they used to call Meathead. If you're older, you know what I'm talking about. Then he made a few funny movies like The Princess Bride. That was a funny movie. And he made a good movie called A Few Good Men, you know, with, what's that actor name? Jack Nicholson was in it. And Tom Cruise. So I hate to see stuff like that happens, you know, especially from what I read on the reports, they're accusing his son of doing the murders. And I hope that's not true, folks. But I don't want to say this, but I got to say it because we all emphasize on a lot of money here in this world. It makes us want to have more and more money. But just to remind everybody that no matter how much money you have, you're still a human being and you still have the ups and downs and all the problems of the whole world. So they're no different than us, folks. They just got more zeros in the front of their numbers, more zeros. That's all, folks. But they still got the same family issues, same heartache, same ups and downs. So, you know, let's just pray for that family as we would pray for any other family, you know. And it's a sad day when your own child, if that's true, allegedly, take your parents' life. It's a sad day. Hopefully that's not true. And we'll find out, folks. We'll find out very soon. All right. Like I said, I'm Richard. This is Hard Hat Conversation. We try to tell the truth as much as we can. We try to give you the facts. Sometimes the truth hurts. It hurts me. It'll hurt you. So that's the way it is. But we got to learn from the truth, folks. We need the truth. The truth will set us free, as they always say. And it does. Whatever situation you're in, if the truth comes out in that situation, that's your healing process, folks. It's your way to start healing again. So we're not beating up nobody. We're not judging nobody. We're just telling facts. And I'm learning as you guys and girls are learning too, you know. As I see other things going out in the world and I hear things, I'm learning and I'm trying to understand, you know, try to avoid some of those pitfalls. Can't avoid all of them, folks, but when you do fall in one, there's always a way out. There's always a way out, folks. So real quick, like I said, I'm stationed in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. I saw something disturbing today after I got off work. Yeah, I got to go to work, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not one of the lucky ones that don't have to go to work. I saw something disturbing on our Channel 19 News in Cleveland, Ohio. If you folks want to look that up, you can easily Google it. The ones that don't live in Cleveland. They call it, let me see if I'm saying this name right, the Oriental House. I passed by that place a lot sometimes before. It's in the heart of the city of Cleveland off of East 55th Street. A lot of the people that live in this area know what I'm talking about. It's really, I read about it and I heard people been in there, you know, people you grew up with and just hearing people going there. And it's like a re-entry from like when you get out of jail or stuff like that. It's housing. And it's something like it's a re-entry place where you have to stay there for a certain amount of time, and then they try to help you get jobs and housing and all this stuff to try to get you back in society. You know, they got all these different types of programs for drugs, DUI offenders, mental illness, stuff like that. Job training, GED classes and stuff. You know, the typical government program to help the down, out, and trodden, you know, the down and trodden, you know, people that have less means or in trouble a lot or just need some resources and stuff. Because we got a lot of people like that, you know. So what's going on is there was, and it's sad that this had to come to this. The report I saw was there was some nurses that worked there, and I don't know who else, reported that the building is in bad shape. That is so bad, folks, that when they come to work, they're getting sick. And you know how they yell at us in society about mold and stuff like that? They said this nonprofit, now the Oriana House is a nonprofit. So we all know what nonprofit. I don't mean to laugh, folks, because when I hear the word nonprofit, that don't make sense to me. There's nothing free. There's a cost for everything in this society. And this is society we created. So when I hear nonprofit, I'm sorry, folks, I just throw that out the door because I don't believe none of that. Everything's for a profit, folks. Everything. There's nothing free in this world. Those food stamps, those Section 8 vouchers, those reduced taxes, those assistance on your lighting bill, all that, those the hunger center where you get some free food and stuff like that, all that is coming from somewhere. It's not coming out of thin air. Somebody's paying for that, folks. So there's nothing free. So don't let them lie to you. That's reality. But remember, we created this situation because a lot of stuff here on this world is free, but we decide we got to pay for everything because some people want to live better than others. That's the way it is. And when we got an abundance of things, it's sad, but that's the case. So not to get off track, folks, the Oriana House, I hope I'm saying it right. They are a non-profit group here in Cleveland, Ohio, right over there on East 55th Street. You drive right over there by, it's like you're going towards Superior. If you go north, you're running to it before you hit Superior. Over there, down there by the lake. East 55th Street, folks, the Oriana House. So I told you they do all these types of government things, housing, people getting out of jail, la-da-dee, la-da-da. So a couple of nurses and some others was been complaining about mold in the building and other things, nasty bathrooms, all kind of stuff. And then I said, let me do some quick research because I just heard about it about a couple of hours ago, folks, to be honest, because I just got off work. And I said, wait a minute, this is my own backyard. So let me run and go on the internet and look at some of the reviews. I know reviews can be up and down. You know, we review everything, which is good. And you should review everything. I think anything you buy, anything you spend your money on or want to go see and all that, review it, folks. It don't hurt to look at a few reviews because sometimes, like I said before, it can save you some of those pitfalls. It's not going to save you all the time, but it can keep your mind going and be aware and ask that extra question, that question you would never ask if you didn't look at that review, even though you may disagree with that review. At least it puts something in your mind to say, let me ask about this, because this person said something about it. It might be something to it. So let me check into it, right? Right, that's all. Anyway, so they was complaining about mold and stuff, and you know how, this is a nonprofit. Nonprofit gets a lot of money from federal government. Grants mean free money. They get a lot of donations from corporations, stuff like that. I mean, a lot, folks. We wouldn't even know where it's coming from. And I know that, I looked it up, folks. The CEO there, he made around $490,000 in 1 year. This the CEO of the Oriana House. The CEO. It's a non-profit, folks, now. Non-profit. Of course, people going to say, well, we got to pay for the cost of running the place and this and that. Of course you do. The building got to keep going and things like that. But remember, it's a non-profit. So really the mission is supposed to help the people that don't have nothing at all. That's the mission. So nobody's saying that the people that work there need to live outside in a cardboard box. But folks, when you start making that type of money, you start losing sight of the mission. Your goal is to bring in as much money and raise your salary. And then when you raise your salary, who suffers? The ones that really need it, folks. I know people don't agree with some of this because you're blinded. You know it's true. Most people want more money. They want more and more and more. And in order to get more, folks, somebody's going to suffer, folks. I'm going to suffer. You're going to suffer. Your light bill going to go up. Your gas bill going to go up. Your food bill going to go up. Your clothing bill going to go up. Your taxes going to go up. Not your paycheck, though. You notice that your paycheck goes up like this? You see what I'm saying? You can barely see that, right? See my finger moving? You can barely see it. That's how your paycheck go up over the year. That's how much your bills and everything I just named go up. Just like that, folks. See how quick, look. You can see it going up. But your paycheck go. You can barely see it move, right? So you get me. So don't say that. That ain't true. The nonprofit helps people. Of course they're going to help a handful of people. You notice I said a hand? I didn't say like this. I said a hand. And guess who else support them and get contracts with them? The Catholic Church, all the churches, all the religious organizations. They partners with some of, like Orana House, and they send them people there to get help. So while the church is sending people there to get help, sometimes the church get contracts too. Yeah, the church. Because remember, the churches are what? Non-profit too as well. So, like I said, that CEO makes $490,000. I remember I did a podcast talking about the Cleveland Mission or food bank down there. That CEO make around $400,000. She make around it. It's a she. She makes around $400,000. Some people say, oh, well, they working hard. They doing this. Yeah. City Mission, yeah. They get a lot of donation, grant money from the government and all that. But do you know that a lot of they volunteers are ex-clients and stuff like that? So a lot of them don't get paid. They always hollering about volunteers. You don't have to pay your volunteers. Not saying but they do have a staff. So remember, this is supposed to be like missionary work. You got to get paid and have shelter and food and transportation to keep doing your missionary work, right? I agree with that. You need a warm place to stay. You have bills too. You have a family, some of you too. I get that. But when your salary start going way up there, and I'm starting to hear about where the nurses and other folks got to call Channel 19 and tell them we got a mold problem, and you guys up there in upper management that make big money ain't addressing the issue, and they coming in telling you I'm sick, I'm not breathing good, the bathrooms are bad, and you got clients complaining about the staff is being nasty to me, and some of the staff feel that they can do that to these down and out people. A lot of them uneducated, ex-druggies, DUI, don't have nothing, and got to be at your mercy, and you're going to beat them up. That's a problem, folks. Go online and look at some of the reviews. Everybody's not crazy that's posting those reviews. You may have one or two that just mad, but the majority of those people saying that. And then when I see when Channel 9, now we got educated nurses and other folks trying to hide their faces so they don't lose their job after they beg management to help them out, to fix this problem. They love their job. That's why they're there. But they don't have the right to live in mold and take that sickness to their house. Those people that they're complaining about work in another building. And you got to go to Channel 19. This is a government facility. And they are partners with the churches. How come all those groups ain't saying nothing? These are people that's helpless. They like babies. They helpless. Drugs, DUI, mental illness. And nobody's addressing this? I guarantee you a lot of those churches, people that been in that Orana House, seen that stuff, but don't say nothing. Nothing. I bet you the top people they come in and make a walkthrough, probably have a good party, good food to eat, and they come once every blue moon to show off to their investors and don't say nothing. Everything cleaned up. So they don't have to see it. They take a certain path to the building, right, folks? So they don't have to see the real deal over there. The messed up bathroom, the ceiling tiles that's leaking, the mold that's in the air where making you cough every day. The workers that's doing 3 or 4 different jobs, they call that multitasking. I call it slave labor. No such thing as no multitasking. You're a human being. You're not made to do 3 or 4 jobs. That's crazy. They only pay you for one, so why are you doing 3 or 4? You want me to do 3 or 4? Pay me for 3 and 4. It's ridiculous, folks. These are government facilities with your tax dollars, my tax dollars, your tax dollars. Like I said before, nothing is free here. Don't let them fool you with that. There's a cost. When you get that free section, anything free, that discount, I'm paying for it or somebody else is paying for that. Yes, folks, remember that. So when you abuse those extra benefits, think about that other person that's suffering because that's taking less money off their table. Be thankful that we live in a place that have these programs. Because there's a lot of other countries that don't have them, folks. And then when I see people abusing these programs, it makes me mad. It really does. Because your money is trying to keep these people from being out on the streets. You're trying to rehabilitate some of them. All of them ain't going to get rehabilitated. Of course not. It's not a perfect world. This is a broken world. You're always going to have crime and murder and starvation because we messed up. That's the truth. We got plenty here, but we won't do it. So when I see a report that some nurses got to hide their faces, that's working hard over there, dealing with mentally ill people, people getting out of jail, people on drugs, all kind of walks in life, the walks of life that me and you don't want to deal with. Let's be honest. This is all that conversations. Let's be honest. We couldn't have of us, couldn't go in none of those facilities and deal. We'll be ready to fight. We'll be ready to quit. We'll be crying. We'll be mad. We'll be everything. Next thing you know, we'll be wound up in one of them places because our mind will go crazy. So let's salute these nurses and these people that reported this. Let's support them. Thank God Channel 19 put this on the air. They didn't have to put this on the air. They could have said, well, we need more evidence or we're going to leave this story alone. We don't want to cause no problem. I had lost faith in the media a little bit for a while. But thank you, Channel 19, for this story. Thank you for putting it out here in Cleveland, Ohio. The Oriana House, or whatever how you call it. That CEO ought to be ashamed of himself. I wonder where he live at. I wonder how many times he visited that place. I think they got a whole bunch. They got one in Akron. They all over the place. This ain't the only one. The one in Akron probably the same way. If they run one way, they're going to run them all that way. Because you know it all deals about money. Oh, we can save money this way. We don't need nobody to clean the bathrooms but only once a week. We can use that person to do something else. We don't have to pay them. You ain't paying them. I'm paying them. She paying them. Everybody paying them. You ain't paying nothing. You a non-profit. But you're going to cut corners and have people that's working to try to help these people in bad conditions. You need to be called out on that. Shame on you. Shame on you, Oriana House, and all those other entities that support them and don't say a word about it. Because I'm quite sure a lot of the clients that's down and out is trying to say something. Shame on those workers who treat those people bad. Shame on them workers who mess with them when they down and ain't got no other place to go and take advantage of them. Shame on you. Whatever you do to them, it's going to happen to you. Stop that mess. It's a shame, man. Do you know, I'm about to get off of this because I'm about to get heated, folks. I'm about to get heated. I don't want to get in no trouble. Let me look at my notes. Do you know this non-profit Oriana House, that free money that get those grants and government and those private donations? I think I read somewhere with somebody, they got one private donation up to 1.1 million. And they can't keep mold out the building? Serving bad food, staff talking to people like they ain't dirt when they hurting? Where's the churches? They're affiliated with the Catholic Church. They got their own issues. Closing up everything. Y'all affiliated with them. All the rest of the religions affiliated with them. Y'all do contracts with them. How come nobody saying nothing? Y'all sending people over there to them. When they come to church and say, we need help, y'all send, we'll go to the Oriana House. They can help you with mentally ill problems, housing, stuff like that. You're sending them over there. Don't you check out places where before you send them to them to make sure it's okay? You're supposed to be helping these people. Not putting all the blame on you, but come on, take some blame for it. Well, a couple of you churches get together and say, wait a minute, Oriana House, you got to do better. We're going to call you out. Because we send a lot of our people there. Because remember, the church is full of messed up people, and it's supposed to be that way. That church is another place where you go get healed, supposedly. So let's not send these people in the fire. We trying to get them out the fire, folks. It's hard to have conversation. Let's tell the truth, folks. Let's talk real. We got all these titles of these people with all these different titles. CEO, secretary of this, head of this. All these titles. You make your head spin. But nobody want to take accountability except the people that's on the front line, like those nurses and janitors, those drivers, bus drivers, all that mess. Got to put up with some of these messed up folks that we trying to heal. And we can't even have a decent building? Come on, folks. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they put their money in stocks, folks. How can they put non-profit money in the stocks? I thought it was non-profit. So if you put your money in stocks, that means what? You making money. So how is that non-profit? They are allowed to do that, folks. You donate money to them, they can take some of that donated money that you gave them, that you work for and have to pay taxes for, they can put it in the stock market and make money. Some people say, well, that's okay. Yeah, if you want non-profit and getting free money, what are you producing? Well, we're helping people. Well, show a product. Where I work at, I got a producer. I don't get paid. Nobody giving me no free grant money, no tax dollars. Now, don't get me wrong. We need services like this. But if you're going to run a service like this, run it the right way. And if those people are not running it, get rid of them. Get some good people in there. There's good people out there. You pay them a good salary. They'll take care of these people. There's people that actually care. Excuse me, folks. Y'all gonna get me riled up on a Monday? But I think that's all I'm gonna talk about tonight, folks. But folks, if you got time, look up that story. It's on Channel 19 here in Cleveland, Ohio. It's the Oriana House. Even the Cleveland housing inspectors came out there and debunked on what they were saying. They tried to flip the switch on them. And it was caught, excuse me, folks. They was caught in a lie. So we'll see what happened with that, folks. We'll see. This is Hard Hat Conversations. Thank you all for listening. Get you something good to eat this evening. And have a blessed night.